Hey guys, before you watch this video, make sure you stay to the very end because we will be giving away a copy of the Coco soundtrack and we will be letting you know how.
And you don't want to miss it. Musketeers, I'm Mayra.
I'm Sarah.
And we're here finally to talk about Coco. It is here. And you guys are in for a special treat.
Coco is fantastic. It follows a young boy named Miguel who lives in Mexico who has a dream of being a musician, but his family says absolutely not, and they hate music.
No, apparently Mama Coco's dad actually abandoned her to pursue his dream of being a musician. And they weren't having it. So it's up to Miguel to go on to this crazy wild journey to figure out a way to get his family's blessing.
Yeah. And Joe actually had the opportunity to speak to the cast and crew of this amazing film.
How much does it mean to you to have the Mexican culture represented in a Disney-Pixar film?
I think it's wonderful. And you know, when we set out to tell stories, it's always about, you know, who are these characters, what is this family, but in all of our research and all of our studies of Dia de Muertos and the themes behind the actual tradition, it became very clear that this is something that will not only be meaningful for you know, Mexicans and the Mexican culture that it comes from, but this is something that can really touch the world because we all come from families, and to have this example of a way to annualize and memorialize and keep alive the people you love, I think that's something so beautiful and to be proud of, that it comes from a culture like Mexico.
Sure. Something that's really cool about this is it's a Pixar Disney film that touches on Mexican culture. What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it means a lot that there is as a, you know, coming from making films, you know, it is incredible when you see somebody or a group of people do a film of another country and make it a really, I mean, in this case, they made a really beautiful Mexican movie, you know? And that is huge.
Right,
that is huge. That is a huge accomplishment. I mean, I've been saying that it's a triumph of how we can talk to each other, you know, in different through different cultures, and how we can show that we are interdependent in that sense, and how universal every theme is, you know. So it's really nice.
How exciting is it to be a part of a Pixar film that touches on the Mexican culture?
It's, I think, the thing we're most thrilled about. I mean, you come to a Pixar project when you're invited as a fan anyway. I have 2 kids and I've seen all of their movies, and there's no denying they're master storytellers.
Oh, yeah.
That they're at this moment, in this age, shining a light, a rather bright light, on the beauty of the Mexican culture. It's not only a relief, man, it's just, I don't know, I think it's a game changer because
Absolutely.
What it will do is, with all the power they have in their storytelling, is reintroduce, in a way, this beautiful culture to a global community.
The day I found out I was going to be in this movie, I just couldn't believe it because I would just watch these movies since very little, and just to be in one at the age of 13 is mind-blowing and amazing. And especially that...
Dude, you're not just in it, you are the heart and
Yeah,
soul
you
of
are.
it. He carries it.
Thank you. And especially to be in a movie that features this wonderful celebration, the Day of the Dead. It's just amazing because I celebrated since I was 6 years old. And now I just know more about it, and it makes me want to celebrate it even more.
Oh, he's so dreamy.
Benjamin Bratt. I can't believe Joe interviewed Benjamin
I'm so
Bratt.
jealous.
But you know what, though? That's not the only person he interviewed. He also did Anthony Gonzalez and Gael Garcia,
Who are also amazing. This
Yes.
film has an all-star Latino cast.
Yes, and all of our Latinos are happy about it because it's really accurate to the culture. And, you know, I'm pretty sure it would have been fine even if we didn't have a whole Latino cast, but just the fact that they did was just a plus for us.
I think that's great. So we're going to start off this review non-spoilery, just so
Yes.
you guys know.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the movie yet, and you're on the fence about it,
right.
We'll push you in the go see it direction, and then we'll let you know once we kind of dive in a little more.
But as of now, let's talk about what you guys already know is like the Easter eggs that are in there. I know you guys caught on to them. I didn't. I was so distracted by the lights and the colors of the whole movie.
There's the pizza truck from Toy Story that went by, which was very cool. The animation in this is amazing. The bridge is stunning.
Very.
Is it magnolia blossoms or what?
I think they were magnolia blossoms, yeah.
And like it was absolutely gorgeous. The animation is fun. The original songs are great.
Oh my God, I love the songs. The best one is Un Poquito Loco, and then my other favorite was Mi Mundo es Mi Familia. That one was my all-time favorite.
Now, are those original songs or are they traditional songs?
Actually, no, they weren't. They were really original songs, but there were some melodies that were really familiar.
Yeah.
So we were able to catch on because a lot of the songs are banda and ranchera. So a lot of the melodies are pretty similar. So like when you hear it, it just clicks for us Latinos.
That's awesome.
We get it. Yeah. And
I was just like, this is a great song.
Right? No, me and my niece were jumping. You saw us. We were
Yeah.
enjoying that whole movie. But what other thing that I really like was the detail of all the items they put into the film.
Absolutely.
Like they put pan dulce in there. They
Yeah.
put the right flowers and honestly the habits that we have as well. Like I love the grandma. If we all know Latinos, regardless, Puerto Rican, Peru, Cuban, Mexican, whatever. If you're a Latino, you have felt the wrath of the huarache. But in the film, it's a zapato. So, but still similarities. You all
That's
see
the
it.
chancla, right? The sandal.
Yes.
We've all seen the video of the lady standing, hitting her chancla, and the gator does not come and get her. Even he's afraid.
Exactly.
Of the sandal.
Exactly. It was amazing. There were so many things that I related personally to it that I think is what really got me feeling for the film.
I really loved that they made the skeletons not scary.
Yeah.
They were the skeleton characters, like that play the family members that come over during the Day of the Dead. They actually look like sugar skulls.
Yeah, and traditionally that's how they're supposed to look. So if you ever see them a little bit more scarier, it's maybe because someone just wanted to have a little scare. But really, they're not supposed to be scary. When you see them, they have them sugar skulls. They have them the clay moldings of the skulls, but they're really cute with their dress, flowers, very colorful on it. So I agree. I really liked it.
I loved that.
And I love the fact you're right, because my niece was not scared of it. She was enjoying. She actually, one of her favorite characters was Hector, so that's a skull,
I love that. And
Yeah.
Hector, I loved the relationship that they build with those characters as
Yeah.
well. One thing I have to say, because and I was telling you guys this after we watched the movie, I am actually not the biggest Pixar fan.
Yeah.
I don't tend to care for a lot of their movies. When this movie ended, I was in happy sadness tears.
Right.
I didn't typically like clockwork. I will look at my watch
Right.
in the middle of one of their films and be like, oh my God, we're only 40 minutes in. Is this really? It's only been 40 minutes. With this, I enjoyed the entire ride. I was entertained from start to finish.
Right.
And I highly recommend this movie. I actually think it's
Yeah.
possibly Pixar's best one to date.
I honestly, for me, it's really hard to say which for top, because Incredibles and Toy Stories for me is totally different genre to
Yeah.
it. So I can't compare those two. But I do agree. I love Coco. I really loved it. Honestly, I was the same way. I was teary-eyed. So when people ask me, did I cry? I didn't want to say exactly I did cry, because it wasn't sad crying.
No.
Right?
It was just, you felt the emotion of what they
Honestly,
were feeling in that moment.
Yeah. If you ever, when someone says they have a bond,
Yes.
that's what I felt like. That me crying was a Bond feeling to that film. It was more like that. If I could express it, that's what Bond feels like, because the film was just family. It's all really about family and hope. And it was just I was just thinking about it, was getting a little emotional. But,
And I found the trailer actually doesn't really do this movie justice.
and I'm glad, because I was actually one of the people that was really looking down on it, because Book of Life was out. And I figured the story was already touched. Day of the Dead, okay,
Right.
What now? But you know what, Pixar? Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
This movie's fantastic. I think it actually is my favorite Pixar movie.
It is. The
that they've
music
come out
was
with.
great. The animation was great.
The story is
was
great.
Everything was great about it. I don't think I can even talk bad about it if I really picked at it.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't find one bad thing
Yes.
about this film. It's
Right now, I'm
fantastic.
waiting for the spoilers for you to tell everybody
I know.
to cut it.
Is it time?
Yes, it's time.
Okay, guys. So now we're going to really dive into the film. Absolutely go see it. It is fantastic. And if you have seen it, keep chatting with us, because we want to discuss the film in depth.
Yes.
So where would you like to start, Myra? From the beginning? From the middle?
From the beginning. I say let's start from the beginning, because this, when they were asking us to shorten the summary of this story, we can't.
No.
You really can't. It's about a 12-year-old boy wanting to be a musician just like his idol,
Ernesto
de la
de la
Cruz.
Cruz.
one of the famous
He's like
musicians in
Elvis.
Mexico. Yeah, he's the Elvis of Mexico.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about his character is that he really replicated our idols in our Latino culture, which is like Juan Gabriel, Vicente Fernandez, like the outfit, the music, it was all there. And, like I said, it was very relatable. It was like, I remember when my parents were listening to that music when I was young, I was Miguel, I was him, loving the music. And that's the one thing, no matter what país you go to, like I said earlier, if it's Cuba, Peru, Puerto Rico, they all live by music. It's all music. Like that's the one thing they'd always talk about. That's us. It's either music and family. Two things.
I love the way he died.
Right? Oh my God, yes.
He's performing his big number.
Yes.
Like the big hit is Remember Me.
He went out with a bang.
Literally. He was going up the stairs, finishing his final note, and
Right.
even the stagehand was dreamy-eyed watching him and leaned on a lever and was crushed by a bell.
Yes.
By a bell.
It was amazing. Remember, like, that guy's fired.
I know. I was like, someone got fired.
Right? But even
was
then,
hilarious.
so then, throughout this whole time, he's trying to convince his family to accept him.
music.
Yeah, accept music in his life because that's what's him. That was him. But they had the worst luck with the music, pretty much, in their family.
Yeah, well, like the main thing is it Grandma Coco or Mama Coco? It's like his great-great-grandmother.
Yeah.
Her father left them to pursue his dream of music.
Yes.
So I can understand
No,
that.
I totally understand that. I totally understand. We were all hating. We're all
like,
hating
that's
this
messed
guy.
up.
And the crazy part is we're thinking it's,
whole time.
Ernesto. The whole time we're thinking it's him. So we're hating on this guy. And then finally we get the true story is that he was coming home. It was Hector. It was
The
Hector.
entire time.
The whole time it was Hector. And again, Miguel's going off trying to, get the approval of his ancestors so he can cross over back.
I love the use of the guitar for that.
Yes.
That going into the mausoleum to steal the guitar so
Yes.
he could play in the middle of the bazaar.
Yes.
And as soon as he rings the bell and he's standing
Yes.
on the magnolia blossoms, it
Yes.
flips him into the other side.
Yes. And you know what? I love the fact that they have the border even then.
Oh my gosh. Yes. They have border patrol
Yeah.
into the land of the dead.
Yes.
Like,
I loved it. And I love the fact how you couldn't cross if you weren't remembered in the,
yeah.
I was-
And that the picture had to be on, what's it called?
mantel. So it's pretty how do you say it in English? Mantle?
Like a mantle?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, so technically you have to put their pictures there. And here, and this, what? I feel a little bad. And I think that's where I got more feels of this film because it's like, wow, this is like how it originally really should be taking, how to handle the whole Dia de los Muertos. But again, I understand our families, buried in Mexico, and we're here. But yet again, I know my mom, my dad, we have our family's pictures. We have their pictures aside. Yeah, I always wondered that too when I was young. It's like my mom would always take pictures. I'm like, why are you taking pictures? That's weird. But, but now seeing it all together the way it should be actually was, a lift of knowing more of my culture. I love my culture. And to me, it's just amazing how they do it. It's so detailed how they put petals down so the family can find their way back and, having their pictures. And that really hurt too when they're like, oh, I need my picture there so I'm not forgotten. It was mainly that, not being forgotten, So it got me thinking a lot of all my cousins, all my family.
And your family.
Yeah. So just like, feel like you're not forgotten. You're like, I still remember. But
So did this film for you respect the
did.
Latino Mexican culture?
Very, very. And that's what I really liked about it is that all the producers and directors actually went to visit, the Villas in Mexico.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They actually went there and, they looked into the culture, the food, all the detail. If you see it, I think that's why it was so effective.
Yeah.
Because it was legit. It was on point.
I think one of my favorite scenes was when Hector and not Ernesto, Hector and Miguel are bonding.
Yeah.
And
they don't even know it.
They don't
right?
even know
They
it.
don't even know it.
And then they perform, like Miguel gets to do his first performance on a competition for in the land of the dead so that he can win a chance to perform at the party of Ernesto de la Cruz and then meet his grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and then get his family's blessing, because the only way for him to get back is a family blessing.
And I think that was my favorite part, when he actually accepted his great-great-grandmother's blessing, but he technically, he knew it deep down. He's like, yeah, psych, I'm not gonna give up music. And once he touched the guitar, he came back. Yeah, right back. And and what I really loved about it, and you know what, our culture is like that. Really? I'm not gonna lie. Like, our culture is like, they're so protective. Like, and we know it's out of love. It's out of love. We get it. But at the same time, it's like, let us be us and accept it.
Like, we are who we are.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I think our Latino families try to mold us to be better, but they don't realize we're being better in what they think is better for us. But I think that was my favorite part. And, still having to go back until finally be like, screw it, I'm going to have to get my blessing from De La Cruz, because he gets where I'm coming from. Music, number one priority.
Right. He'll send me back and I'll be able to do what I want. Yeah. I also loved a lot of like the nods. Like, there was like Frida was in this film.
Yes.
I also love the like paint me like one of your French girls moments, or like the girls like posing naked.
Yes.
But
and I
like,
love
she's
Frida.
a skeleton.
Yes. And you know what? Frida's totally she's really out of culture. Like, for us, she's really? Like, she's like the Andy Warhol for the Latinos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I love, like, they come out of an avocado and then they're on the cactus. Is it too obvious? It's like just obvious.
Yeah. That was an awesome character. I loved her. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they touched everything. They touched everything possible in the Mexican culture. It's you really have to see it. Like, I can't push it more for you to see it. And your kids are going to love it. And that's the thing I did like, is that my niece did not fall asleep from it.
No, she didn't.
She was
up the whole time.
It. Yeah. It was really colorful. And you know what? The dog.
Oh my gosh. Dante
was the best.
The spirit guide?
Yeah.
Dante. And Dante knew, like, I feel like that in the end, the big twist of it is that Ernesto's not his grandfather. That Ernesto is actually the performing partner of Hector, who is actually Miguel's grandfather.
Yes.
And I even though that twist was, for me, it was very predictable. I kind of assumed
once he found out Hector was his great-great-great-grandpa, that's when we knew. We're like, okay, it unraveled. It's a soap opera. It's a novela.
Like, For me, it started a little sooner. But even though I figured out the end before they gave us the hints, I knew that he was gonna run back to Mama Coco and sing "Remember Me," and then she was gonna remember. It was gonna be this beautiful moment. Even though I knew all of that was coming, it still
took effect.
Got me.
Yep.
When when listening to him sing that and seeing her like wake up from her dementia, like, I was just like, it's fine, no one look at me.
Right. And then
no one look at me. I'm okay.
And you know what? They even prep you for that moment too. And there's no fighting it. Because remember when
it's beautiful and it's family. And
because remember when there's a scene where Miguel needs to perform a talent show to try to get close to De La Cruz. Yeah. And remember when they go to that guy to borrow his guitar?
Yes.
And when the thing is, when everyone's forgotten, Hector's mission is to give Miguel a photo of him to put on the mantle so he's not forgotten, so he doesn't disappear. Because the point is, if you're forgotten, you disappear. That's it.
And they don't know where you go.
Yeah, you don't know. They don't know if there's a life after that or what. So that's his whole fear the whole time is, I need Miguel to put this picture for me, so I don't disappear. He wants to see Coco. But throughout this time, Miguel doesn't know that.
Yeah.
But so one of their friends, he sings a cute song. It's funny. Everybody knows Juanita. I love that song. I thought it was funny when he was singing that song. There's a part, it sounded like it would have been an R-rated part.
Yeah,
and
like really dirty.
Song, and the guy's like, the song doesn't go like that.
He's like, there's children present.
Right, so it's hilarious. It was really funny. But I like how when his friend disappears because he's forgotten, Coco's like, oh, well, I can go back and remember. And he's like, no, it doesn't work that way. So it's like, it kind of builds you up already. And it gets you, it's deep. To me, it was deep.
It was
because
very
it's
deep.
like, especially like, knowing, I feel like this is like, hey, this is what you should be doing with your family members and you're not doing it. I'm like, ouch, I'm sorry, Nana. I'm sorry, Tata. Like, I remember you though, but
the heart of the story is family.
Exactly. And remembering, and it's
Never forgetting where you come from.
Exactly. Again, I can't push it enough for you to go watch this film. It's really good.
It's got a lot of great lighthearted moments. Dante is a great little sidekick of a character that we get, which unlike Moana where we got Hey.
Yeah, but we didn't want Hey.
This one is actually like a real sidekick who helps Miguel get into and out of trouble.
It's literally a man's best friend right there. And I like how when you brought it where at the end, do you notice how they switch forms where like and the underworld, they're pretty much anything they want, like to as a protector, and then when they come back to our world of the Day of the Dead, they're regular cat and dog. I thought that was actually really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. But again, I love this movie. There's nothing bad I can say about it, really.
I have nothing bad to say. Like, I couldn't even do like top 5 best, top 5 worst. There is no top 5 worst.
But I can tell you, I give it 5 Mickey gloves.
5 Mickey gloves.
Yes.
5 out of 5.
5. Yes.
5 out of 5.
Yes.
Go see this film. It is amazing. You will not regret it. Pay that nighttime price.
Yes. Oh, and I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to love the soundtrack. I loved it. The songs were amazing. Buy it, go watch it, take your kids. You guys won't regret it.
It's a great family movie.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please let us know when you go watch Coco. I really love the movie, and we would love to hear your opinions on it.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we are giving away the Coco soundtrack, and how we are doing that is if you like, comment, and share this video, we will be picking a winner from random. So make sure you do all those things, and then we'll pick our winner.
Alrighty. So tune in next week for Bippity Boppity News. But until then, happy Thanksgiving.
And we'll see you real soon.